So congratulations on the illness. This is your first foray into multi-episode television. Did you enjoy it?
I did. I really did. It was one of the best working experiences I've ever had. It was almost 7 months in Budapest and just working with the best people. So
you have very intricate costumes, very beautiful costumes.
Yeah.
They also look brutally uncomfortable. Is that true?
I'm sorry, Michael, but yes, some of them were.
Yeah. Well, I don't blame today's modern costume designer. I blame the turn of the century.
Totally.
Yeah.
No, but they were, I mean, I hesitate to even say that they're costumes. These are real pieces of clothing that could have been worn in 1896. You know, it was like if there were 50 buttons down a dress, then they weren't like snaps to like cheat it. You know, it was 50 buttons. And, but I became like, I had the same costumer every day who would get me dressed and undressed. Her name was Dora. And with the second they were like, okay, Dakota, you're done, I was like, hat off, handing it to Dora, like jacket off, like pin off, tie off. Like I knew exactly what I could take off and just would leave this little trail from the set to the trailer, like of taking off each piece, because it's one of those things that you know when you have to be in it, you're fine, but the second that you know that your requirement is finished,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, well, it's got to come off
also
right
you're
now.
like, oh, I'm a crazy person dressed from 100 years ago.
Exactly, exactly.
And you actually, you play a fictional character, but based on a real woman who was the first woman who worked in the NYPD.
Right, yeah.
So that must have been a cool person to try to embody.
I mean, yeah, I when I read the character, I was so thrilled to play someone who, she was the first woman to hold a title at the police department. In that clip you saw, she's the secretary to the police commissioner, who's Theodore Roosevelt. And, you know, but even that's not good enough for her. You know what I mean? She has such aspirations to even be more than just a secretary, but that's sort of her way into this world that isn't very welcoming to her.
I want to ask about this. You have an Instagram, a private Instagram account. And you've bragged you're very good at you're good at internet stalking. And it's so nice of you to brag about this, because a lot of people would keep that secret. So what do you
blown my cover?
Yeah, I know, but like, so how do you use Instagram to find out? Like, because you're a bit of a detective. You're like your character. You're getting to the bottom of things.
Yes. Well, yeah, there are times when you have to go deep into, you know, before you could search people's, who they followed at the top. Now you can like put in the first letter and all the B's will come up.
Yeah.
It didn't used to be that way. You used to have to scroll through. If somebody follows 523 people, it's like scroll through 523 people. But sometimes that was the only way to make connections, you know? Like.
Gotcha. What were you trying to connect?
Well,
you were like,
you know,
there's been a murder. Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. You know, where you just feel somebody's lying to you, and you
gotcha.
gotta get down to the bottom of it.
Oh, so you'd like follow, you'd say like, I'm here, somebody would say like, I'm here, you'd find a connection, and then you'd find on someone else's account.
Yeah, and I just like to know if I meet someone, I just like to know like who they are friends, I don't know.
Yeah.
It makes me sound like a big creep, but.
No, like a little
like a
one.
small
Yeah. So you are not a huge sports fan. But you come from a family.
I can't say that on public. My mom will like have my head.
Well, would
if
your
you
mom
say that
admit,
about me.
Would your mom admit you are less of a sports fan than her?
You all are less of sports fans than my mom. Everyone in this room combined
and
is less.
It's been
of
problematic.
A sports fan.
Her thirst for sports
is so funny. So I'm cutting you off and telling
No,
my story.
please. Go for it.
I went to the SAG Awards recently, and I presented, and I got to wear this beautiful dress. And a few weeks ago, I wanted my mom to come to a fitting of it, because my mom, she loves clothes and fashion. She has a great eye, and I like her to come with me sometimes to the fittings. And so I had a fitting, and I was like, oh, we have to be at Samantha's at 1 for that dress fitting. She's like, okay. That day rolls around, and she's like, Dakota, that is the Georgia-Alabama game. And I was like, yeah, okay. Like, I'm here for like a day. I have to do it that day. She's like, who would plan anything today at 1 p.m.? She was like mad at me, like actually mad. I was like, there's nothing I can do. It has to be the States, so she didn't come.
Oh, wow. That's great. And I guarantee the people of that fitting also did not know it was the Alabama-Georgia game. Congratulations so much on the show. It's lovely having you here.
Thank
Dakota
you so
Fanning,
much.